What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Stepfon, and tonight I'm going to be talking about and celebrating one of the greatest soulful R&B kings who forever changed music and became one of the legendary voices of Black America. Yes, I'm talking about Mr. Marvin Gaye. So sit back and enjoy yourself on this ride with me as we celebrate the birthday of Mr. Marvin Gaye. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment on the video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Welcome back to the channel if you're a returning subscriber. Also, don't forget to turn on your notification for new videos. So here we go. Happy heavenly birthday to one of the greatest, soulful, influential, beloved, historic R&B kings ever. He is celebrated as one of the greatest vocalists of all time and enjoy a legacy of the genre like no other. The day before Marvin Gaye's 45th birthday, on May 1st, 1984, he was tragically gunned down and murdered by his father as Marvin Jr. intervened in a fight between his parents. That horrible day, which lies in the memory of those who were alive during that time, as a where were you when moment, will go down in history as the day the world lost a legend. Marvin Gaye represented the leading talent in the genre, becoming a generation-defining artist as he traveled his musical roots and becoming the world's most premier soul singers. Marvin Gaye did what very few artists of his time did, rolling with the punches and moving with the times. Marvin not only saw the opportunities in front of him, but handles by which to grab by. He helped shape the sound of Motown in the 1960s as an in-house session player, and later as a solo artist with string of successes, earning him the nicknames Prince of Motown and Prince of Soul. They say some of the remarkable beauty and art come from some of the darkest places. Marvin Gaye's life was no different. He was a beacon of art and goodness for so many, but his personal life was plagued by familiar drama and personal demons. He was a trailblazer, leading the way as musicians became protesters and music became protest. Marvin Prince Gaye Jr., known as the Prince of Soul, was born in Washington, D.C. on April 2nd, 1939. Marvin was raised under the strict control of his father, Reverend Marvin Gaye Sr. Marvin Gaye Jr. added the E on at the end of his name later in life. The minister at a local church against a backdrop of widespread violence in his neighborhood. Throughout his childhood, Marvin found peace in music, mastering the drums and piano at a young age. Until high school, his singing experience was limited to church revivals, but soon he developed a love for R&B and doo-wop that set the foundation for his career. In the late 1950s, he joined a vocal group called the New Moonglows. The talented singer had a phenomenal range that spanned 3 vocal styles, and he soon impressed the group founder, Harvey Founder. It wasn't long until Marvin and founder came to the attention of Detroit music and press businessman Barry Gordon Jr. and were later signed to his legendary Motown Records. His first certified hit under his name wouldn't come until 1962, but his early years at Motown were full of behind-the-scenes successes. He was a section drummer for Motown legends such as Little Stevie Wonder, The Supremes, the Marlettes, Martha and the Vandellettes, showing his stripe as Motown residence man. Marvin went to break into the top 40 for the first time with his own single in 1962 called Hitchhike. Throughout the 1960s, Marvin would show his intense range, charming out solo dance hits with romantic duets like hitmakers like Diana Ross and Mary Wells, Can I Get a Witness? And I heard it through the grapevine was some of his biggest hits of the period. The hit achieving its place as Motown's best-selling singles of the 1960s. For 3 high-flying years, Marvin Gaye and Tammi Terrell wowed the country with their sewing duet performances of songs like Ain't No Mountain High Enough, If I Could Build My Whole World Around You, Ain't nothing like the real thing, You All I Need to Get By, etc., etc. Unfortunately, their reign as the royal couple of R&B ended when Tammi Terrell succumbed to a brain tumor in 1970. His beloved partner's death ushered a dark period for the singer, who swore never to partner with another female vocalist and threatened to abandon the stage for good. In 1970, inspired by escalating violence and protesting rest over the Vietnam War, he wrote the landmark song What's Going On. Despite clashes with Motown over the song's creative direction, the single was released in 1971 and became an instant smash. Its success prompted him to take even more risks, both musically and politically. It was in spring of 1971, the What's Going On album served to open Marvin up to new audience following his Motown following. Departing from the tried and true Motown formula, he went out on his own artistically, paving the way for other Motown artists like Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson to branch out in later years. Beyond influencing his peers, the album gathered worldwide critical acclaim, winning the Rolling Stone Award for Album of the Year. In 1972, he moved to Los Angeles, where he soon met Janis Hunter, who later became his second wife. Inspired by his newfound independence, he recorded and wanted the most beloved and sexual and one of the greatest baby-making anthems of all time, called Let's Get It On. The song became his second #1 Billboard hit, cementing his crossover appeal and his sex appeal once and for all. Shortly after, Motown pushed him to touring and to capitalize on his most recent success. Reluctantly, the singer-songwriter turned to the stage. Through most of the mid-1970s, Marvin Gaye was touring, collaborating, or producing, working with Diana Ross and the Miracles. He put off releasing another album until 1976. He continued touring after the release of I Want You was released in 1976 and scoring a #1 hit in 1977 with the dance single Got to Give It Up. Released his last album for Motown Records, which was Here My Dear in 1978. 2 decades at Motown, Marvin Gaye signed with CBS Columbia Records in 1982 and began to work on his last album, Midnight Love. The lead single from that album, Sexual Healing, became a huge comeback hit for the R&B singer and earned him his first 2 Grammy Awards and a American Music Award for Best Soul Single. Despite his successful comeback in the early 1980s, he struggled badly with the substance abuse and the bouts of depression that plagued him most of his life. After his last tour, he moved in his parents' house. There, he and his father fell into patterns of violent fights and quarrels that were called conflicts and had haunted the family for decades. On April 1st, 1984, Marvin Gaye Sr. shot and killed his son after a physical altercation. The father claimed he acted in self-defense, but later convicted in involuntary manslaughter. 3 years after his death, Marvin Gaye was inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame, creating beautiful art from a troubled life. He again and again brought his vision, his range, and artistry to the world stage. At the end of his career, he admitted he no longer made music for pleasure. Instead, he said, I record so I can feed people what they need, what they feel. Hopefully, I can record so that I can help someone overcome a bad time. His life may have been cut short, but he forever remembered as for his legendary voice and one-of-a-kind way he made us feel. He influenced future R&B greats to follow in his footsteps and not allow people to put you in certain categories or put lock chains on you. As a young lifetime Marvin Gaye fan, he made me proud to be a black male and wasn't afraid to talk about social issues that talked about that plagued Black America. His music always penetrates to my soul whenever he sings, and was perfect for any occasion you wanted, like partying, fighting for equal rights, romance, and baby making. Thank you for changing music forever and changing the way people felt. Like I always say, let's always celebrate our legends while they still here, because tomorrow is never promised. Thank you for enjoying this ride with me. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment on the video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Also, don't forget to turn on your notifications for new videos. Please stay safe and blessed. Have a good night. God bless you. I'm out. Peace.